On 7 January 2025, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, was sworn in. During his swearing-in, he made it clearly that he will achieve a certain policies. He stated that this is social contract and these actions should be implemented. And the President of the Republic of Ghana made this statement to the people of Ghana that he promised them he will achieve these actions within 120 days in office. So from the day he was sworn in, that was 7 January 2025, to 120 days, and he stated the social contract, and these actions were 26, and he promised the people of Ghana that he will achieve this within 120 days. So people thought he would not be able to achieve it because the actions were many. The social contract, a lot of actions that needed to be done. He promised to give them the leanest and most efficient government ever since independence. You know, most of the governments, when they come into power, they appoint a lot of people into government offices, which bring a loss to the country. And people think that most of the positions are not needed, but people appoint and even create new offices for new appointees. In the social contract, he stated clearly that a code of conduct will be created for the government officials so that they will not be astray when given the position or when appointed. He made mention of a lot of actions in this social contract, and he will achieve them within 120 days. And the people of Ghana said, no, this is too much. How can you achieve this within 120 days? So on 7th May 2025, which was yesterday, he meant the media to give account of his social contract, the 26 actions he promised the people of Ghana that he will achieve within 120 days. So he made them and outlined the promises he made within the 120 days that he will achieve, and gave account on the things he is still working on, those ongoing, and the ones he has not been able to work on. He said that a report on National Cathedral project, which has made a lot of Ghanaians talking, will be out by the end of May. So by May ending, the report will be out to the public for the people to assess and know what entails and what went through the process for them to end up leaving a hole for the country and spending a huge amount of money on that project. So all the people in Ghana, you expect that by the end of May 2025.
Deloitte & Touche is conducting an independent audit of the National Cathedral project. I expect their report by the end of this month.
According to Money Africa, during the assessment, they stated clearly that the president has been able to achieve not more than 60% of his promise. He has at least done well, and about 100% have been able to score not less than 60%, then you are somehow on track. The president stated that he will not overlook the corrupt activities going on in the country. So he said during the tenure of the previous government, there were a lot of corruption captured. So all these corrupt activities will be worked on, and still some of the people will be prosecuted. They have caught some of the people, interrogated them to get more information about the corruption going on in the country. So they said they have gained a lot of information about the corruption going on in the country. So most of the reports will be out, and those who deserve to be prosecuted will be prosecuted. So all the promises he made on corruption activities still at hand, and they are working on it. They will not let go of any corruption that transpired during the previous government tenure, and they will make sure all the monies they took from the state will be recovered.
This war against corruption continues unabated. The Minister for Health is reviewing the Auditor General's report on the COVID-19 expenditures. After the review, the appropriate actions will be taken. The Sputnik V scandal is under investigation. The Minister for Finance has launched an inquiry into the collapse of indigenous banks and financial institutions. And make no mistakes, facts will be unearthed, culprits will be punished, and lessons will be learned. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition has commenced investigations into the PDS scandal. A number of officials have been invited and questioned concerning the 13th African Games. On April 30th, 2025, the Attorney General filed 11 charges against a former National Signals Bureau Director General and others for various offenses. Charges will also be filed in the Accra SkyTrain and the National Service Ghost Name scandals. The Office of the Presidential Advisor on Corruption will continue to receive complaints and reports regarding graft for onward transmission to the Attorney General, building on the success of the oral mechanism, which received over 2,000 complaints in just a few weeks. As promised, my commitment to fighting corruption is not limited to recovering loot from past appointees. We will also ensure that our own appointees serve Ghanaians responsibly and are held to the highest standards of accountability. Reopening investigations into major unresolved criminal cases. Delivering justice is crucial for national healing and trust in our institutions. And so we promise to open investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 elections killings, Ayawaswo West Wogombai election violence, and the murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas Wolochami. The new Inspector General of Police has established a special task force. Investigations have been reopened and progress is being made. In the tragic murder of Ahmed Hussein Swale 6 years later, the police service have made an arrest and the suspect was arraigned before court and remanded. Investigations are also ongoing into the election 2020 Teshuman South incident where 2 lives were lost. In Ododo, where 2 persons died, 3 individuals have been charged with conspiracy and murder and committed for trial at the High Court. In Ablikuma Central, where a military officer is alleged to have caused a death, the scene has been revisited and a request was made to the Chief of Army Staff for the release of the personnel involved to assist in investigations. For the tragic death of Silas Wolochami in Banda, the Attorney General's office under the previous administration had advised against prosecution due to lack of evidence. But I'm pleased to report that we have reopened the case based on actionable intelligence. In Doma West, where Kofi Robert died, 1 person has been charged and is standing trial, while the other suspect is at large and is being pursued. In Savlugu, where Zakaria Samira, a 16-year-old, died from a gunshot, efforts are still being made to find the assailant despite a lack of cooperation from witnesses. And concerning the January 31st, 2019 Ayawaso West Wogombai election violence, where 18 persons suffered injury from individuals later identified as national security operatives, we will not let that matter die without justice being served to the victims. ASP Azugo, who was deeply involved in the violence and atrocities on the day, is currently cooperating with the National Investigations Bureau to identify, arrest, and prosecute all those who were involved in the violence. With respect to cases from the 2024 election violence that resulted in tragic deaths in constituencies like Tolong, Damango, Autusenya East, Nkranza South, Ofinsu North, and Ahafua North Southwest, the cases are being investigated by the Special Task Force. These are senseless deaths that should never again happen in our nation. Elections are to choose leaders, not to murder our citizens. We are committed to ensuring accountability for political violence so that it will not happen again.
The president stated that his promise to pay the admission fee for the first-year students of the universities in Ghana will ensure that it is done, and they will make sure the admission fees are paid. You know, now most of them have paid the admission fees and entered the school. But still, they will find a way to calculate it and reimburse all those students who entered the universities in Ghana this year.
To convene a national consultative conference on education to build consensus on the necessary improvements to our education sector. I'm glad to report that this promise has been fulfilled. Over 2,000 proposals were received, including a survey on free senior high school with 20,000 respondents. The report on the consultations will be ready by the end of May 2025 and will be made public. The extensive consultation was crucial to building a genuine national consensus for sustainable reform in our education sector. The no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions was a key promise to ease burden on families and expand access to higher education. My government has taken concrete steps to implement this. 452,940,012 Ghana cedis has been allocated for the payment of academic facility user fees for 156,294 first-year students in public tertiary institutions for the 2025 academic year. Get Fund has also been instructed to pay the fees directly to the tertiary institutions, ensuring timely disbursement. The No Fee Stress application portal has been developed and is now live for first-year students to register and authenticate their eligibility for this.
According to the National Democratic Congress, they have done a lot for the country within their 120 days. They made mention of 26 actions in their social contract that they will get it done. But within the 126 days, per the assessment, they have even exceeded what they promised. In the mineral sector, he said that now, previously Africans will give all their mineral sites to foreigners for them to mine and send everything to their country, and the country will gain nothing from the minerals. But now they want to take over all the minerals, then they will buy everything because the government wants to take over, employ people, buy all the minerals, then they will process it and sell it outside the country so that they will gain a lot of revenue for the country. So this decision is not about them sacking foreigners from the country or not empowering people outside the country to invest in Ghana. But no, they want the best for the country, and they think it's time for the country to get access to the minerals, then process it and get revenue for the country, because we get very little from what we have in the country. But now the government has taken over to produce, buy, produce and sell everything so that they will get more money for the country.
Concerning the ban on mining in forest reserves, on March 20th, 2025, a legislative instrument, LI 2462, was presented to Parliament to amend the Environmental Protection Mining in Forest Reserves Regulation. This amendment removes the President's power to grant approval for mining in forest reserves. I plan also to amend the Minerals and Mining Act 2003, Act 703, to completely prohibit mining in forest reserves. This would effectively, meticulously, legally, and entirely ban mining in our forest reserves. This initiative aims to train and deploy blue water guards to monitor and protect critical water bodies and prevent further pollution. At the same time, experts are working to clean up our polluted rivers. The Tree for Life Reforestation Initiative was also launched on March 21st, 2025, to restore degraded lands and combat climate change. This project aims to plant over 20 million seedlings annually nationwide, including through the One Child Per Tree policy to inculcate environmental consciousness in our youths. By combining enforcement, policy reform, technology, and community engagement, we're on track to reclaim our environment and ensure responsible mining for future generations. achieving the expected outcomes of reduced illegal mining, cleaner water bodies, restored forests, and stronger governance.
Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share my videos. Thank you.